Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for your attendance in such early hour. My name is Kamil Choromański, and I would like to tell you a few words about process of data preparation for the virtual reality visualization of cultural heritage. So, it's not working now. Oh, okay. To get you the context, our main goal was to develop the visualization in a most realistic way. So we decided to use photogrammetric documentation in order to get photorealism effect. We want to achieve most immersive visualization, so we used virtual reality set as we thought it was the most immersive way to visualize object by computer. So we started cooperation with Museum of King Jan III Palace at Wilanów. It's a palace from the 17th century, built for King Jan and his wife. It's placed in Warsaw, in district Wilanów. This museum have very rich data, GIS data about the objects in their chambers, and also data, the photogrammetric data like laser scans or images. And we decided to visualize 5 chambers, 3 chambers on the ground floor, 1 chamber on the first floor, and also 1 chamber on the second floor. On the ground floor, these are the chambers we are working with. So the first one, the central one, is so-called Beagle. It's central chamber of palace. It's very representative. It have sculptures on the ceiling, very richly decorated. And the other halls, this one, it's the garden galleries. They are very long, very big, and also they have frescoes from the time when King Jan was living there. On the first floor, we have only 1 chamber. It's a so-called quiet room. It's a relatively small chamber, and it's called quiet because beneath there was a king chamber, so everybody had to be quiet there, so king not to be disturbed. And the last chamber, it's the Hall of Feasts. It's probably one of the biggest chambers in the palace, and it was designed to have feasts there. Okay, so going to some technical aspects, one of our biggest challenges was to develop this visualization with use of archived data, because there was no possibility to make our own measurements due to renovation works and tourist movement. So this data was from few measurement campaigns, and the quality of the data was varying. For example, for the Bicol, we can see 52 photos, but most of the photos were the photos of ceiling, and there was only like 8 photos of the walls, with the coverage of about 10%. So it was very hard to generate 3D mesh from such data. So we tried a few approaches. At first, we tried the approach with generating the dense cloud in Agisto Photoscan software, only from images. But as I was saying, some data it was impossible to make it such a way. So as we had also the terrestrial laser scanning data, we used this data to generate the geometry. And we used photos to give it the color information. Speaking about our workflow, we started from data preparation. The algorithm in Agiso Photoscan requires normal vectors to be computed to each point of the cloud. So we computed these vectors with use of crowd compare software, and we tried few approaches about this subject. Then we combined this scanner data with images in photoscan software and generated meshes along with textures. Another big challenge was to implement these meshes in game engine, which we use to make the visualization, final visualization. By the way, we are using Unreal Engine for game engine. So we had to adjust the level of details to make it work fluent. So here we can see original mesh generated with photoscan in original spatial resolution. And here are our tries of decimating this mesh. So here we can see 24 million of polygons, now 500,000 and less and less. As you can see, geometry is getting reduced and more inaccurate, but with use of texture, the change is not so big. So it's very good for visualization purposes. But speaking of some details, like this sculpture, we can see that also with textures it gets worse if we speak of visual thing. So we had to set apart some smaller objects. And now the comparison of the texture resolutions. I don't know if it can be seen here, but this is the finest resolution. The resolution is the GSD of the texture is the same as the GSD, or even better than the images GSD. So it's the most pretty texture we can achieve. But as you can see, the size of the texture is quite big. There is no influence on performance of visualization, but bigger textures, bigger visualization, it's the problem. And finally, we import all the data, all the meshes in game engine. We used Blender software to align it on proper places, so the user could visit these chambers like he would be like in Palace. And some thoughts about generalization of mesh and textures. Mesh is main performance factor. Mesh is main performance factor, so it has to be generalized to work to visualization work fluently, and it should be divided into segments so the details will not lose their accuracy. And about textures, textures should be GSD of the texture should be in the best way equal to the GSD of the images, and the texture have massive impact on the final visualization. So here you can see some effects of our work. As you can see, you can move freely through the. Oh, it's. I think you cannot see anything here, but you can trust me. You can move freely around the palace, and also get some information about frescoes and sculptures that are in there. And finally, some conclusions. So Unreal Engine 4, this game engine, provides a comprehensive solution in the field of visualization of cultural heritage. It's very important to sustain stable frame rate of such visualization, because there is this effect called VR sickness, and if it's not working very fluent, it can make one just feeling sick. So it's important for the user. use of VR system requires additional computing power. It's quite performance consuming. And also, what is important here, and most important thing for tested computer, as you can see the specification there, we could have placed about 1.5 million of polygons before it gets blurry. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you very much, and if you have some questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Can you speak a little bit to the importance and innovation of the work?
Can you repeat, please?
Can you speak to the importance of the work? Like, why does this matter?
Why does this matter? Okay, so our main goal was to, sustain cultural heritage in the visual way. Yeah, so it can be view from not from Palas but from other places, and to get this more, let's say, popular during the young and old people, we used some, let's say, popular technology. So it's quite nice for the younger people to get to know to the museum, to the chambers of the museum and the objects in museum. I think it may be more attractive than the standard way of visiting the museum for the young people.
You think that virtual reality is more attractive than actually visiting a museum?
Not really. I think it may be something. You cannot visit museum every time, yeah.
Right.
And these chambers, as I was saying, are two of them are not for visiting now.
Right.
So you can't visit them in any other way than through the visualization.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Some other questions?
All right. Thank you very much.